Hello and welcome back to Cub Correctional, and of course, not Airport CEO, this is Prison Architect. Welcome back. Today we are mostly going to be focusing on getting the rest of our cells in, just so that we have a secure perimeter, because this yard currently does not work, and no one can reach the canteen because this is currently not a secure facility. But before we do that, there are a couple of things we need to clean up. First of all, we need to remove our power from the yard, because that is, in fact, not a yard at all. We don't want our prisoners going down there whatsoever. The other thing I would like to do now that we have logistics unlocked is take a quick look at our room quality, or our cell quality. Currently, we've got a grade of 10 out of 15. That is pretty damn good. We are going to try to give our maximum security prisoners a little bit of a worse grade, and our minimum security prisoners a better grade, because we do have prisoner transfers turned on. So we want to encourage our worse inmates to become better, since we are focusing on reform. So we'll make these, I don't know, like a 5 or a 7, somewhere in there, and try to get these up to like 12 to 13, potentially 15 if we can manage it, but I don't know. And then we'll leave these at the baseline of 10 for our medium security. But with 2 minutes left on our grant, I'll hit play. This should come through in any second. $16,000 in the bank. We can now jump in and accept ourselves some new grants. One of the first ones that I would like to do is giving something back. This is just requiring us to sell 2,500 units of power back to the grid. That'll make us some extra money as we sell our power to the grid as well, so that will be fantastic. Another one that I would like to smash out pretty quickly is inmate health and well-being. We just need a medical ward and some doctors. Pretty simple. And the last one, I was tossing up between visitation rights and cell block B, but since we're going to be putting in the foundations for all these cell blocks anyway, we may as well take cell block B. It pays us better, and we'll come back to visitation rights as soon as we've got giving something back complete. So cell block B, I should say, we're going to raise our prisoner capacity to 50. With all that being said, I am now going to jump into a quick little time lapse and get all of our foundations down around the outside of our prison, as well as these gates and things, and we'll be right back. Actually, before we do that, I do need to set up the power export. So we'll jump into utilities real quick, go into our power export meter. That can sit right about there, and as soon as they come across and install this, we just need to wire it up, and that should be everything we need. I'm not 100% sure if this actually requires an electrical connection. It doesn't look like it does. Looks like that electricity just runs straight through there. So happy days, that is all set up and working. Power export meters must be wired up to a transformer with attached batteries to operate correctly. Perfect. So that should be working fine. As soon as we export enough power, that should go away. Now we're going to jump into a quick little time lapse, and I'll get all of these foundations laid down and start working on our our maximum security cells up the top here. So we'll be back in a little bit. And with that all said and done, we are now officially secure in our yard, and we could accept prisoners if we wanted to. Now, I realized I made a mistake here. These, in fact, should not be prison doors, because that is not the entrance to that room. So instead, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves 2 large jail doors, and we'll rotate them so they both open outwards, and they will be the entrances there instead. And we'll just put in normal doors here so that our prisoners can come and go out of the common room. The next thing we need to do is work out how we're going to do these cells. So the first thing we are obviously going to need is some kind of a jail door. And I think I would like these to open this way and this way, and that should mean they'll open into this side here. That should be a-okay. Then we need to come in, of course, with our reclaimed wood walls and build out this cell, grab ourselves some objects, and if we just search for cell here, we'll find all of the things that we need, including a bed, which is probably going to go right about there. Toilet and sink can come up against this wall. I'm a little bit concerned about how close this toilet is to the outside, but we're just gonna see how it goes. Then we also need a drain and a shower head for on top of that sink and toilet. And then we'll throw in a large window here. We'll give them a TV. I don't know if they're going to be able to watch it though. Maybe we should just give them a radio instead, because I believe that does the same thing. We could also potentially just give them a bookshelf and no real other amenities. We throw in a bookshelf right next to their bed, and potentially we could throw in, like, I don't know, a wooden stool, but that doesn't really fit. Maybe we could throw in a prayer mat instead. Give them a nice little prayer mat next to their bed so that they can do the things that they want to do. And then if we come in and designate that as a cell, that should be all good. We'll wait for them to install this prayer mat. Everything is installed barring lights, which we'll throw right next to the door. If we come into logistics and look at our room quality, this is a 5 currently. Is there anything really we can add that will... It's saying that it's not getting one for a shower head, which is weird. That should be getting a bonus for having a shower head in it, but I guess that is not the case. Maybe it's because it's not connected up yet. I am not 100% sure. Let's jump into utilities, get this all hooked up, and then we'll see if anything changes in that regard. So we'll throw this electricity line all the way along to there, and this can come right up there and basically to the end, somewhere around there should be fine. That should give everyone enough electricity. Then our large pipe is already here, so I'm thinking we do something like this and something like this, and then... Will that work? No, that won't work at all. No, there's... Go to there and bring this all the way across, and bring this all the way across, and do the same with these, and I'm not 100% sure where it's going to go in here yet. I believe if we connect them it'll be fine, but I'm guessing we're going to throw it on that side, so let's put that in right about there. Once they have built this, we'll see if this cell grade goes up or not, because it does have a shower head in it, and I feel like that should be giving them a bonus. Apparently it's not, so let's see. As soon as it's plumbed in, it might change. If we get a grade 6, I'm not too sad about it. We might end up putting in comfy beds or pillows or something in the long run. Yeah, there we go. Now it's a 6 with the shower head. I think if we go ahead and grab ourselves a pillow and throw that in right there, it's only $15. That should raise it to a 7, which I'm not too sad about. I feel like 7 is pretty reasonable. As soon as they've got that in, we'll go ahead and jump into quick build, custom, clone, and clone this entire section so they build walls and everything else as well, and we'll throw these in. Okay, I guess we're doing every second one because it can't do all of the walls. I should have selected only one of the walls. That's fine. And if we rotate this around, that is backwards. Actually, no, that works perfectly. That works perfectly. I think that door is just backwards. So we'll dismantle the door, and then we should be able to copy and paste this up to here as well. These ones here are going to be mirrored, so I will do that in a little bit of a time lapse. I'll in fact do all of these cells in a little bit of a time lapse, and we'll be back in just a little bit. And with the final prayer mat going in, our first maximum security cell block is now complete. Now, unfortunately, that only got us up to 44 prisoners, which is so close, yet so still far away. let's go ahead and just to sort out that problem, we are going to clone 8 cell blocks from here and throw them in right about there. And that should, in theory, complete our cell block B, grant. And that should, in theory, give us some more money to get some other stuff done. While they're building all of that up, I would like to go ahead and throw in an infirmary. And I'm thinking we can utilize one of the buildings in here. I feel like close to the yard would be nice. I'm thinking the maximum security is probably going to need it more than the minimum. So I'm thinking this little square here might be good. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be big enough. If we have a look at medical beds, they are a 2x2. So actually this will be more than enough space. So we'll go ahead once again and grab ourselves our foundations with our nice reclaimed wood walls. Throw that in right about there, and of course grab ourselves a nice double door for the entrance. There's going to be an entrance right up the top, and then we can go ahead and insert for infirmary. And honestly, we shouldn't need too many beds in here. I'm thinking we start with 4 and then we expand from there. What does the infirmary actually require? Just needs to be indoors and have a medical bed, so we can absolutely get that done. I'm going to go ahead and put a priority on that foundation there, just so they can get that done a little bit quicker and we can plan out that infirmary. The other thing we need to do is hire a psychologist and 2 doctors. Let's just double check that we have actually researched psychology. We have not, so let's go ahead and get that started. Is there anything else we should grab in here while we're here? I wouldn't mind grabbing education, but that's not going to be something we're dealing with just yet. Deployment is probably something that we should start researching. We need to... Why can I not research deployment? Am I broke? I am broke. Okay, so I'm going to let this run for just a little bit while they get this infirmary foundation built. We'll build that out and they'll continue building these cells in the background. And as soon as all of these complete, we should have enough money to get everything done. We did just complete something. I guess these are now officially complete. I guess. Also, 44 plus 8 is 52, not 50, so that was my bad. We should have only needed 6 of these, but that's fine. We have a little bit more money now, so we'll jump in and grab ourselves deployment and patrols, and probably remote access as well. We do, of course, need to hire a chief to get that started. So we'll come all the way down here to our next available office, throw him in, and he will start working on that. So much for the priority here. They don't really seem to be prioritizing that all that much. But let's have a look at some more grants that we can take. Visitation rights is definitely something we want. Prison maintenance is also pretty easy. I think we can pretty much complete that straight away. We just need to hire some janitors and a gardener, and we can pretty much fire them straight away. Let's just do that right now. Grab ourselves 1 gardener and 2 janitors, and you know what? I'll leave them on. They can clean some stuff up. That's absolutely a-okay. We're still in profit, so no concern there. Anything else that we can grab in here? Visitation rights is one that I want to do. That should be pretty easy to get done, especially because we have this common room here that we can utilize. We can probably also get security procedure certification done. This one is pretty easy too. We just need some buildings. Prisoner acclimatization and engagement just requires us to assign prisoners to these different areas. They don't actually have to work in them. So I'm going to take that and we'll get that up and running just to give ourselves a little bit more breathing room in terms of our cash flow. But our infirmary is now built. We can go ahead and grab ourselves a couple of medical beds. Like I said, I'm thinking 4 is going to be more than enough for right now. And the only other thing we need to do is designate this as an infirmary. And that should now be complete. The other thing we need to do is hire at least 2 doctors. We can absolutely go ahead and do that. They will be fired in just a minute. And then we also need a psychologist, and they can go into the next available office right about there. We will keep them on just because they show us our prisoners' needs and everything like that, so that's fine. The other grant that I might pick up now is security procedure certification. We can absolutely get that done pretty quickly. We just need to hire 10 guards and assign 3 of them to patrol routes. I'm going to do that right now just to grab the extra money, and then I will fire them. So to do that, we just need to set up a patrol. Doesn't matter where it is. And then we need to assign guards to patrols. Go 1, 2, and 3. And then we can just come into staff and hire ourselves 10 guards. Like so. That is now complete. We can go into our staff now and say, sorry guys, I didn't mean it. I'm not ready to hire you yet. Sorry, not sorry. This patrol we can now delete because that's not a smart place for a patrol. And we should be looking pretty good. These prayer mats really give me error vibes. That's why I scrolled in there just to see what the error was. The only thing that we need to do now is get some lights in our infirmary. That is pretty important, I would say. And make sure they have some electricity going into that room. Alright. The next thing we could probably start working on is this prisoner acclimatization and engagement. We need to build ourselves a laundry. We need to build ourselves a cleaning cupboard and assign 3 prisoners to work in the kitchen. We can do the kitchen right now. We jump into prison labor. We can say 3 of you work in the kitchen. We'll turn that off in just a second. I'm thinking for our cleaning cupboard and our laundry, we might put them right about here. I think that will be fine. They might end up moving down the line, but we'll grab ourselves some foundations with our reclaimed wood walls and throw that in right about there. And you know what? Let's just build this entire section. I don't see why not. Then, of course, we need to remember to put on our doors. So we can go double door there, double door there, double door there, and double door there. This is going to be a common room. I don't know what this will be yet. Maybe a mail room or something like that. And this will be like cleaning cupboard and laundry. This is going to be a huge cleaning cupboard. But I think I'll probably end up getting rid of it and using it for something else like a chapel or something. Because I don't really like the prisoners having access to all the chemicals. So we'll assign people to this and then immediately take them off it and redesignate the room as something else. While they are building up that foundation though, we can go ahead and start working on our common room, which is going to be down here and up here. We'll get this one done first. I don't see why not. Grab ourselves a common room, throw that in right about there, grab ourselves some objects and say common. And actually the common room doesn't require any objects. Is that correct? That is correct. Okay, but we do need a pool table and at least 5 phone booths. My plan was to have some phone booths in the canteen, so we'll go ahead and throw those in real quick. I just do something like this, and like that, and turn them around and face each other. That is our phone booths all in. We need a pool table, which we can absolutely throw in our common room. Fit in perfectly, and that should be fine. The only other thing we need to do is visitation, and I want to sort that out a little bit later because I'm thinking that can come down here somewhere. I'm not 100% sure how I want that to work yet. But let's switch gears now that these are built. We'll go ahead and grab ourselves our wall, throw in our walls separating these rooms, and grab ourselves our room. We need a cleaning cupboard, which we'll do last actually. Let's do our laundry first. The laundry can come in, I'm thinking right in here would be good. And grab ourselves our objects. Laundry, we need some laundry machines. Just 2 should be fine for now. We might expand that later on. We also need some ironing boards. The small ones function the exact same way as the large ones, so grab the small ones. I don't see a reason to go bigger. And then of course we need some laundry baskets. These get wheeled around so you can place them wherever you want. I believe that's all. They don't need tables or anything like that. That is everything that is required. Of course, we should definitely put some lighting in here. And I don't believe this has a center, which is kind of annoying, but that is what it is. That should be more than enough light. We grab our utilities, say, you guys now have power. This does need to connect up, so we'll do that. And then we will also sell this utility on the end because it is not necessary. And that should be our laundry complete. We can jump into prison labor, assign 3 prisoners in there. Now I'm going to pause the game, grab myself a cleaning cupboard just so that no one buys supplies for this. That is now a cleaning cupboard. It is indoors. We hit space just to unpause for a second until the error goes away. Logistics, assign 3 people to that. Unpause, that is complete. Now we can go back into our rooms and undesignate that as a cleaning cupboard. We're also going to jump in and undesignate our workers because we are not ready for that yet. We also need to connect up our water in here, so let's get that sorted real quick. Our water can come to around about there, should be fine. And right up the center into these. These should be connected. Did I not connect these up? Why don't you go? Oh, you do have water. That's fine. And that should be good to go. Let's have a look and see if we can get any more grants right about now. We could, of course, get cell block B, which is raise our capacity to 100, which would require us to build every single one of the cells that we have designated. I don't mind it. Prison manufacturing facility we can't do until we have prisoners. Reform needs people to pass it, so we can't do that until we have prisoners. Governmental security ratings we can absolutely do. We just need 2 dog handlers and 2 armed guards. We can absolutely start working on that. And otherwise we are pretty much stuck until we get prisoners into our building. I believe, can we get that? No. We cannot get any of these just yet. We can potentially get MaxSec infrastructure implementation, but I don't think that's completely necessary just yet. Inmate research requires prisoners. Crackdown on drugs requires prisoners, and tool cleanup requires prisoners. So I believe that is about it for the grants that we can accept right now, but this prison is pretty much ready to start accepting inmates, which is honestly a little bit terrifying. Before we get to that though, let's go ahead and just throw some lights in each of these rooms, because I feel like that's probably a decent thing to do. And of course make sure that we also have power going into each of these rooms, so they are lit up and we can see things. Alright, with $73,000 left, I think I would like to complete this cell block at least, and potentially start on our minimum security cell block, but I'm not super concerned about that. I think the first thing I would like to do is complete this. So for this we need 2 of the cells. Let's grab custom, clone, and clone from there to there, I believe is where we need it to be. And of course I didn't do enough. Are these not the same size? Of course they're not. Of course they're not. Why would they be the same size? That would make my life way too easy. So let's instead clone all of that, throw that in right there, and then clone, I don't know, like that. That's blocked. Like that is what we need. Perfect. And then we need 3 more cells. So grab those. And I believe, is that the correct positioning? Let's grab the ones that we actually are going to use. Put those in right about there. And 2 more cells from down here. Throw that in. And that really didn't take up that much of our money, to be honest. So I am pretty happy with that. This cell block we could almost completely copy and paste over, except it is facing the other direction, so that is unfortunate. Also, I don't know why I decided to do the split jail doors. I think that is silly and I don't like it. So we're going to move that to there and instead replace that with some wall, because I don't like how I've done that at all. I'll wait for them to get to that. But in the meantime, we'll jump into a quick little time lapse as they finish off the rest of these cells, and then we might have to start thinking about hiring some security and setting up our visitation before we finally get some prisoners inside this prison. So we'll be back in just a little bit. And for some reason they always leave the prayer mat until the very end. But that is officially 71 cells designated for our prisoners. An ambitious start for sure, but we still do have some money left over. I think the next thing to tackle is probably going to be visitation. And I want that somewhere in here, but I would also like to have our security in this area. So maybe we do security first just to make sure that we get the sizes right. I'm thinking in terms of doggos, we're going to need a couple. I would like a doggo per cell block. So currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cell blocks. So that's 5 doggos. I would like 2 patrolling the border just to check for tunnels. So that's 7 doggos total. If we leave room for 10 doggos, that should be more than enough. I believe they're just like a 2x1, 3x1 once you add their kennels. So what I'm thinking here, let's jump into planning real quick. If we make that 6, that's enough room to get that width in. And then, so that would be across to there. Then we would need 5 wide. That would be a doggo room. Except I kind of want that end room to be the armory. I think that could potentially be a little bit smaller. If we make that 4 wide, make this one 5 wide. Actually, let's make that 6 wide. How wide is this entire thing? That is 20. We did, what is 6 plus 6 plus 6? Okay, let's just make them 6x6s. So that can be that can be that, and that can go away, that can go there, and we don't need any of this. So these will be our security rooms. We'll have general security room, doggo security room, and armory security room. Nice and far away from our inmates. They're going to have to get through a lot of stuff in order to get down here. So we'll jump in, grab ourselves our foundation here, throw that in right about there, and then for dooring on this, we are going to use solitary doors or door secures. Yeah, we're going to use solitary doors. So that can jump in right about there, that can be there, and that can be there. That'll give everyone access. And then we can jump in with, as soon as they get this done, that does require an entrance, but they should be building those doors up now. That should be fine. We'll grab in our walls, throw in our reclaimed wood down here, and then we can go ahead and assign these. So first up is security, and then we're going to have a kennel, which I cannot do because I haven't unlocked dogs yet. Let's get dogs unlocked, and then we also need armory unlocked so that we can get both of these rooms in. In terms of security, it doesn't require a ton. If we search for security, we can throw in a nice little office desk right about there with an office chair. We're also probably going to want a door control system in here. So let's get that right about there again with an office chair facing the other direction. We'll probably also want a CCTV monitor and a phone tap. That should just about cover us. I believe this also needs a filing cabinet for whatever reason. We can throw in our filing cabinet there, CCTV monitor there, and any other things like phone taps and stuff can come along this way. And that should be a-okay. That is officially a security room. Have we finished researching the kennel yet? We have. So the kennel will go right about there. And then we look for our kennel. We need dog crates, which I was going to put them this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll be fine. And then dog bowls in front of each of those, just so our doggos have some food. It is a little bit tight for a kennel, but I think it will be enough for right about now. And then we can grab ourselves our armory, which we have not finished researching yet. So instead, we'll throw in some lights in these rooms, because I feel like that's probably something our employees would enjoy. Grab ourselves our utilities and our electric cable and run that all the way down to there. That gives everyone a nice amount of light. And now, have they finished their armory? Not quite. Got to be close, right? It's got to be close. Am I even researching it? Yeah, 4 hours left. That is fine. We'll also throw in surveillance. I believe this also gives us phone taps. Yes, it does. And we may as well research intelligence while we are here. Anything else? We can probably start on education. That seems fine. I also kind of want farming and forestry labor, but we'll save those for now, but just because I'm not sure how much money we're going to have left once this is all said and done. I think the other thing we should probably do while they are working on that is throw a great big foundation down here. I'm thinking we can put in visitation down here and potentially a couple of shops, like a bakery and a restaurant. For our probably only minimum security can work in this, but we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking in terms of building our visitation room, our visitor tables are how big? 3 by 2. So if we grab ourselves objects and say 3 by 2, I don't know why I said 3 by 2, it's 3 by 4, right? Double check that. Visitor table is, no, yeah it is, it's 3 by 2, not 4 by 3 at all. Well, let's grab objects and shrink that down. That's how big a visitor table is. There, and so close. It's so close. What if we did it the other way around? I like things to fit perfectly, and that just made me sad. If we did that, that is so close. I think we can get away with it. We just leave a 2 gap in the middle there. And I think, honestly, 6 visitor tables probably isn't enough. It probably isn't, but how much is that going to leave in terms of room for other things? That's probably not too bad. I think 12 visitor tables will be enough. If we do something like that, then these would be shops. I kind of feel like I want to do it the other way around though, so that's 9, 8. Let's do that instead and cancel all of these because we know how they're going to work. Actually, we'll throw them in. 3 by 2, 3 by 2, 3 by 2, and then a 2 gap, 3 by 2, 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 3 by 2. Perfect. And grab ourselves a door. This one can just be a normal double door, I believe. Actually, we'll just do a singular door because we have a center point. That can go in there. And down here, we don't really know what we're doing yet, but we'll throw in a double door anyway because I feel like this is going to be shops of some description. And that should be more than enough room. So we'll let them crack on with that. Everything else is pretty much complete. As soon as we get this visitor table in, we should have visitation rights complete. Let's see now, have they finished the armory research yet? Yes, they have. Perfect. Throw in an armory there. Grab ourselves some stuff for in here. So we need a weapon rack. We need guard lockers, that's easy enough. Just do something like that. And then we'll throw in 2 small tables either side of the gun rack, the weapon rack I should say, and that should be all nice and complete. So we need 2 dog handlers on a dog patrol and 2 armed guards to a patrol. So I'm thinking for our armed guards, I wouldn't mind if we had an armed guard patrol our cell block. So literally just that and that would be more than enough. I'm mostly worried about the maximum security prison part. This is all unsecure, but that shouldn't be a problem. That should be fine. That's unaccessible and yeah, non-secure and unaccessible. Is that not a fence? That's a fence. It should be working. Anyway, guard patrols. So yeah, let's assign armed guards to these. And then I kind of want to do a separate patrol out of magenta for in every single cell. So this is going to take me a hot second, but we'll get there. Do something like that, and just bring this all the way across. I'll jump into a quick little time lapse as I get these set up. Okay, with those patrols in place, we can now assign dog handlers to those, and that should be a-okay for keeping our prisoners at bay. Honestly, I'm not even sure that we'd need another dog patrol around the perimeter. For now, I'm just going to hope that that is enough. I'll go ahead and jump into another quick little time lapse as we also get that set up for in here. So we're going to have a blue patrol just running the whole length. I'll probably just assign normal guards into our medium cells and save our armed guards for the maximum security. But then I also want the magenta patrol to actually look through their cells. So we'll be back in a sec. Alright, with that set up, we can go ahead and assign a dog handler and assign a guard to the blue patrol. That should be a-okay. I'm a little bit concerned that this armed guard is actually going to be assigned to the wrong patrol, so we'll make sure that he is only on blue and not on a white tile. That should be fine. We now have guards patrolling this cell block and these two cell blocks. That is good news. If anyone knows that I've done something wrong in terms of setting up those patrols, please do let me know in the comments. Patrols and guards are definitely not something that I have a lot of experience with in this game, so if I've done something wrong, please do let me know. But we'll make sure this is running up on 4 times speed. We will now have to hire ourselves some armed guards, and we only need 2 of them for right now, as well as 2 dog handlers. That will complete that grant, giving us $45,000 in the bank. We just need to wait for this to complete, and then we can go ahead and get visitation in. Everything should be all good to go. The only thing we really need to add is some more stuff in our security. So I would like, at the very minimum, a phone tap, and I think I'll place that in right about there. And we'll grab ourselves a seat for that as well. What's it called? Chair. The normal chair for that. And we will go ahead and make sure that is connected up to our power. Sell this extra utility. We don't need that there. And then we should be able to go into wiring and say connect this phone tap to shift click every single one of these phone booths, just so we can listen in and make sure our prisoners aren't planning anything too nefarious. So that should be all good and done. Jump into another quick little time lapse as they get this foundation completed, finish out visitation, and then I think we might end up leaving the episode there. A little bit of a shorter one for today, but in the next episode, I think we're ready to hire some guards and get prisoners into our prison, as we are now currently making negative money per day because of those guards that we just hired. We could go ahead and fire them, but I'm literally about to rehire them in just a second. Anyway, I don't know what this guy's patrol situation is. That is not an effective patrol whatsoever. Yeah, he's assigned to the wrong thing. I think he's assigned to white. Let me just have a look at this. We assign armed guards, take you off there and put you in there instead. You should now wander along. Yeah, perfect. And our doggo is doing exactly what we want, looking through all of the cells, making sure no one is digging tunnels. We will need to go ahead and assign one more dog handler, to this patrol down here, and we might need a spare, but we'll see how we go. That should be all good. I don't know what they're building, that they can't get this complete. Maybe this is complete and it just looks dodgy. I think it actually is. So let's grab ourselves some walls and doors, throw this in right about there. Objects, visitor table, and we'll place these facing the middle, prisoners towards the center. That one there. Rotate them around, and that is officially our visitor area. We are going to have to worry a little bit about contraband here. I'm thinking we potentially set up a checkpoint right here, just to ensure that anyone coming into our prison isn't holding contraband, and anyone coming out towards visitation and stuff also isn't, and also from our shops and stuff here. So we might end up actually removing this cell, extending this walkway out a little bit, and getting some checkpoints in here. I have not used checkpoints before, but I am excited to give it a go. We also need to worry about solitary at some point, and I was kind of considering maybe moving this pool table into this room here. Oh, that doesn't fit. That really bugs me. Do we not have enough power? What happened to our power? Why is everything turned off? Overloaded. We need more green energy sources. All our batteries are full. Oh, no, they're not. It says they're full, but they are currently at 0. So we need a little bit more power. That is something we will address at the start of the next episode as well. Visitation room just needs to be assigned. So visitation is in here. We'll also need some lighting, so let's throw in some lights. Just in each corner and, I don't know, maybe there. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Utilities, electrical cable, and throw that in about halfway. Okay, let's fix this because I really don't like it being this dark. Oh, can these go in the water? Is that actually a thing that can happen? Let's try putting some more in and see what happens. If they can go on the water, that is fantastic. I really like that feature if that is a thing. Or do they build a base underneath it? No, it looks like they just go over the water. Alright, we have power restored to our prison. Everything is looking a-okay. I think at this point, with a little bit of a shorter episode, we're going to end it here. And like I said, in the next episode, we'll come back and get everything up and running. Finally get some prisoners into our prison. There are still a couple of things we need to do before we get to that point. But next episode, for sure, we will have our first intake of prisoners coming into our prison. If you are enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment for the sake of engagement, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Join the Discord, there's a link down below. Check out our merch as well. I'm thinking about possibilities for some Prison Architect merch that I think will be absolutely fun. But yeah, until next time, happy building, happy rioting. Bye guys.